We need two. Lauren, go. Keep it going, Lauren. Hurry, Lauren, go.
C.
Your answer, hold it high above your head.
That's what came in the 40s.
Alright, let's see the correct answer.
What? Oh, darn it.
What school did Mesa High play for the homecoming game this year?
They play Mountain View. C. I did say C.
Finish clear. Let this aircraft reach the sky. A, be soaked water strewn. B, with parts played. C, disintegrate away heat. Or D,
I think it's A. A.
What do you have, Lauren?
Alright, that's the correct answer.
Darn it.
What was Zeno's last name?
B.
I'm going to see really how it happened.
Lauren, C. No, I'm sorry. B. It's the B.
Alright, let's see the correct one.
Yes.
Which of the following years was our boys basketball team not represented?
B. What? I thought it was B. False. I think it's false.
True, false. During the war and the petition at Mesa High.
I think it's B.
B, C, and D are all tied.
What?
So it's the tiebreaker.
I think I got A.
Alright? Whoever can raise the answer up above their head first wins, okay? Let's show the question. Alright, let's see this question first.
I chose A.
Alright, thank you guys so much.
So everyone else gets
person I want to introduce was not only a wrestler with us, okay, he was a wrestler live, but also we're friends, and he's like a son to me, okay, very proud of him, okay. He was a jackrabbit, basic jackrabbit, just like you guys, and we'll be able to take a look at 2006 Mesa High graduate, Anthony Robles.
Some people spend their entire lives wishing for amazing things and forget how to just focus on doing amazing things with whatever they have. But this past March, Arizona State senior Anthony Robles won an NCAA wrestling title, capping a perfect 36-0 season, the tournament's most outstanding wrestler. Anthony was born with only one leg, and that shouldn't matter to you. It never really mattered to him. Take a look.
I remember the first time I saw Anthony wrestle. I went in the stands and my son threw down his crutches and he hopped in the middle of the mat. And there's this scrawny little kid, and that's my son, and I was so proud of him, but this woman was laughing, and it broke my heart. I never wanted him to look at himself and say, hey, something's wrong with me, because these people keep looking at me and pointing. But if anybody's known Anthony throughout his whole life, it's that big smile, that great personality, and never letting anything get it down. Even when they ask him, what happened to your leg? He's like, I was born that way. Just with confidence, he just says it. I know Anthony made it a point that he wanted to go to Division I school. He had worked really hard with 2 undefeated seasons, 2 state titles. But he wasn't heavily recruited. He knew he had something to prove once again. When he first started, it was like, oh, poor thing, good for him, he's trying, he's got one leg, he's at a disadvantage. And then as he started winning, he's got an advantage because he's got all that upper body strength and, people can't get low enough. And I'm like, no, the kid just figured out how to beat you guys.
It will be a tall task for Anthony Robles, the senior from Mesa, Arizona, 7 minutes away from a national title.
I was scared for him, knowing that it had to be my luck, knowing that it had to be with the former champion. Trying to give Anthony any credit, it had to be the best of the best. Expecting him to do anything, and for him to take control of that match, that was his defining moment. The pride I feel for him is indescribable. It's an honor to be Anthony's mom.
Ladies and gentlemen, recipient of this year's Jimmy D Award for Perseverance, Anthony Robles.
Mesa, Arizona. First period, 20 minutes underway.
Technique by Robles.
There needs to be lighting time, so you add another point to Robles to actually fly up. Anthony Robles has shown us that impossible is nothing.
Hey Mesa High, I'm sorry I can't be there with you today. I was planning on being there, but things are crazy right now. We're actually getting ready to start filming my movie with Dwayne Johnson, and I'm away commentating with ESPN. And it's been a crazy journey, a long road. And I just want to share with you guys a little bit about how I got here. How I got to this point to where they're making a movie about me, because I just feel honestly just so blessed and so fortunate to be where I'm at. And I remember my first day as a freshman, stepped onto the Mesa High campus. And that year, that's when I got into wrestling. I was 14 years old. And I had big dreams right off the bat in my sport. I wanted to be the best at it. I wanted to be a state champ, all these things. But unfortunately, it didn't go that way. I had to deal with a lot of challenges. I was undersized and inexperienced. And I remember just finishing last place in the city tournament that year. And it was a turning point for me. Because I remember just being in my room one night, just being upset, just kind of feeling really discouraged. But I just remember telling myself, you know what? My goal, my dream is to be the best. I'm not going to stop until I get there. And I set that goal for myself. And I was blessed with some great coaches who would help me along the way and help train me and just help teach me what it took to be a champion, just to pay that price. And there's actually a quote that I love. I actually have it just posted. It says, "The prize is in direct proportion to the price. The greater reward you seek, the greater the effort needs to be to achieve it." And we all got our own goals. We all got our own dreams that we want to achieve. And if you haven't found that goal out yet, don't be ashamed of that. What I encourage you to do is always look for opportunities to find that goal, to find out what your dream might be. Because I'm always writing new things down, always new things to challenge myself. And so I'd say that's one thing I recommend for y'all to do. Just write down a list of things you want to achieve in your life. And every single day you look at that list and plan it out. How am I going to get a little bit closer to these goals? Because that's what I did starting with my wrestling. I wanted to be the best, so I checked out this box of little things I do every day. By my senior year of high school, I was blessed, and I was a 2-time high school state champion, high school national champion. And like a lot of athletes out there, I wanted to go to Division I. I wanted to wrestle in the college level, so I planned out all my list of schools I wanted to go to, thinking I was going to get a wrestling scholarship. That all these schools were going to be burning down my door to get me, but it didn't happen that way. There wasn't any schools that wanted me because they thought that me being born missing a leg and wrestling at the B-League level, it wouldn't be possible. So for me, the way I got into Arizona State was through my academics. I graduated as an honor roll student, and that was a tough road as well. That was another challenge for me, and that was a goal that I had set for myself. See, I remember just going through classes. I did really well except math class. That was always my weakest point. I always struggled in math. I never really understood it, and so that was something that I knew that in order to achieve my goal, I had to work extra hard in my math class. And I was fortunate to have a great teacher, Mr. Spransky. And he would actually take his time just to give me some extra tutoring in lunch. I would go into his class during lunchtime and just sit there and learn what I was struggling in. There were times where I would actually skip practice. My coach would let me go, and I would sit in his room and just study and get the necessary tools and knowledge that I needed to be successful in that class. So it wasn't fun, but like I said, you got to pay the price sometimes. You got to really just sacrifice for what you want, and that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes it special. So because I was able to put that work in when I was going to put that work in, even though I didn't get that scholarship like I wanted to in wrestling, I got an academic scholarship. And so I walked on to Arizona State, and again, it was a struggle all over again. I remember coming out of high school, I was 96-0 my last 2 years, national high school champion. My first time in that wrestling room in college, I got pinned in like 2 minutes. And it was discouraging, but what I like to say is you grind now, you shine later. I know you guys right now, you're going through school, and it can be a grind sometimes. It can get frustrating, and the easy thing to do is to just give up, or just kind of walk away and say, oh, I'll deal with it later, and just not really care. But you're never going to shine that way. Life is hard. If you want to be successful, it's going to be hard, but that's what makes it special. And so just going through that process all over again, I was fortunate. I stayed to it, and by my senior year, I remember just standing there and just getting ready to run out of that tunnel. 20,000 fans watching. It was Philadelphia. And I just remember being scared out of my mind, honestly. But when I stepped on the wrestling mat, there was one thought that popped in my head. And I just remember thinking, I worked too hard for this. And so, you guys, if you have those goals, work hard at it and just have that in the back of your head. Just tell yourself, I've worked too hard. I'm not giving up on this goal. And imagine and just envision yourself, how good is it going to feel to finally reach that goal? When you do that, when you're able to just focus on life like a wrestling match, that's how I think about it. You focus on the challenge in front of you. You beat that challenge, you move on to the next one, and then you finally get that goal. It's a step-by-step process, moment by moment. And what I would say to y'all is just focus on the opportunity in front of you right now. You know, your opportunity right now is to go to school, is to get that diploma, and possibly play sports if your athletes out there. Focus on those things and focus on doing it to the best of your ability. And when you do that, other opportunities present themselves. You know, for me, my goal was to wrestle in college. After I got to college, another goal became to get into motivational speaking. Now I have the opportunity to wrestle and commentate for ESPN and Pac-12 Network. And now an opportunity to make a movie. You know, so for you guys to say, focus on those opportunities in front of you. And even though you might not know what you want to do in the future, if you focus on what's in front of you, if you do your best right now, other opportunities will present themselves, and you'll start coming across those things that you say, hey, this interests me, that interests me. Because, you know, I can tell you firsthand, I know some people who, unfortunately, they're doing the exact same thing that they're doing in high school now, which is nothing. You know, they're not pushing themselves, they're not setting goals for themselves, and you don't want to be that person. Now, think back 2 to 3 years ago. Think about how fast that went. Where you're at right now, it's going to go fast. You know, you don't want to be a person who's looking back thinking, man, I wish I would have done a little bit more. Man, I wish I would have pushed a little bit harder. Because you have the opportunities right now to take advantage of those things. And really, that's what carry on means to me. You know, you have this mentality where you expect the best out of yourself. What I say is, you chase your greatness. And it doesn't matter what that is in, doesn't matter what that may be. Maybe if it's in art, if it's in sports, whatever. You chase your greatness, you do it to the best of your ability, and you don't look back after that. Be proud of it.